Yo, Carson. Hey, all right. Let's see. What are the Packers set at? Kicking it off. Never said another about. Hey, we got the Jai Lai going. Old time's sake. I've been mixing it up. Lately. Got the Jai Lai. Just that's how I time. When I want to do like a not so long live, I get a tall boy. When the tall boy finished, I know we're about time to wrap up the live. All right, Packers, the first team. They're over under set at 7.5. It's set at 7.5, but 7.5 is at minus 120, so it's kind of leaning on the over. I kind of like the Packers here. What's up, John? I kind of like the Packers going over here. I do think that minus 122 is probably decent odds on them going over. You know, you got Jordan Love, who I think is a little bit underrated. I'm not saying he's going to be elite, but you had young receivers that have grown, presumably, and then you got Jordan Love, who has been working under Aaron Rodgers for a while. And if you believe that Aaron Rodgers is who he's supposed to be, then you have to assume that Jordan Love figured a thing or two out. So I do think they win 8 or 9 games. All right, Packers first up. We got Commanders. Let me find that real quick. Their over-under is set at 6.5. Tyrone, we are doing, Braves smacked them. We're sweating out a few plays. We got the over in the Mets game. We got the under in the Rangers game, and we got a long shot on the A's. But right now I'm doing some win total over-unders for NFL. TTV thick mode on Twitch. Yeah, the new mic is fresh. You can actually hear me on the Twitch stream. It's nice. For real, Dubs. I saw that it was like 8-2 last I saw. It's crazy, dude. They're destroying this entire city. All right, Commanders are up next. Someone already said Commanders. So we got 6.5 is their win total. And that's at plus 104. I'm seeing it right here. It looks like minus 105 on some books. So kind of favored to go under here. I like the Commanders going over here. I think that they have a really solid defense that's going to keep them in any sort of game. And that's enough for them to be able to scrape 7 together. What they did last year, I don't think was out of reach for them. I don't think that was like unbelievable that they pulled that off last year and that they're incapable of doing that again. I think they win 7 or 8 games. I think that they have the defense to make it happen. All right, we're just going into we're going to get through a lot of people here, so I appreciate it. If I missed you, just run it back after. But someone said Pittsburgh. Someone said Schittsburg. So Pittsburgh at 8.5, minus 150. 9 at minus 115. So it's about 8.5, 9. You can't really say the over-under set at 9 because of that. So Pittsburgh, I like it. I saw a lot of growth in Kenny Pickett throughout the season, so that makes me think he's going to have a decent jump from year 1 to year 2 because of the rate at which he was improving. I know Tomlin's an elite coach. He's a really strong coach. He does have a tough division, to be fair. It's a tough division, so it's not super strong on the over, but I think they win 9-10 games here. Probably 9. I think 9 is like a very fair line for them just because Pickett is going to make a lot of growth, and you got some good young guys, so, again, another reason for growth, and it's under a really good coach. So, I think Pittsburgh has a good shot at going over on that. Someone said Broncos. That's a huge question mark. Broncos is a really tough one because Russell Wilson, who has put together a very solid career, absolutely shit the bed last year. And now you got Sean Payton, and you have to wonder what it's going to be at. What's their over-under set at, by the way? Over-under, it's at 8.5, minus 106. That's a tough one because I do think he's going to come up. And TTV, I'm going to get you in a sec. But I do think that Russell Wilson's going to improve. I think he's going to be about like a 7 or an 8 of 10 relative to 2021. The defense is still really strong. The division is just too tough. You know, you're going to take a couple L's to the Chiefs. You're going to lose to the Chargers. It's just a really, really tough division. I think that's going under. I do think he's going to improve. But, not enough. Not enough for them to be able to get under with that schedule. Someone said Saints. TTV said Saints. We're gonna get through a lot, so I appreciate you guys waiting if I haven't gotten to yours. And I like any thoughts on what I'm saying. If you disagree, whatever, I'm gonna get to everyone. Just keep repeating if I miss it, because normally I respond to all the comments, but since I'm trying to do like a little bit deeper analysis, I'm focused a little bit more here. But Saints at 9.5. I think that one's going under. That's a pretty tall line for a team that won 7 games last year and doesn't have any like elite weapons. That's just. It's a weak division that's kind of up for grabs. It's so they're going to get a couple. I think the Bucks are going to be pretty weak. I think they can take from them. I think the Panthers will improve a little bit, so that's going to be a little bit of a tougher matchup. They just don't have reliable guys for them to be an above 500 team. I just don't see it. I think 9.5 is a pretty tall line. I could see them getting 7. This is actually probably the strongest I've felt about any of these. Is that 9.5 is going under, and it's minus 110 on some books, by the way. Real quick, by the way, if you're taking futures action, if you check out Profit Exchange, that's like a betting exchange. So you put action, someone else takes it. You can actually get like the no side of action if you check it out on Profit Exchange. And if it's not on there, you can just post it. So check that out. That's in the links. Denver Broncos got a new coach. I think that's going to be big for the Broncos, Peyton. And I think maybe 2 years down the road they'll be good. I just don't see him going over in that division. I don't. That's the one I'm least certain about, though. Broncos is the biggest question mark ever. Because, you have who was formerly an elite quarterback had an absolutely atrocious year, and you just have to wonder, was that a fluke or does he suck now? And now you have a really successful coach coming in, so they could make a big jump. It's not illogical. With that defense, with Russell Wilson, who theoretically could be really good, and with Sean Payton, they could be good. So I'm probably staying away from that one. I do like the under on the Saints. Someone said Colts. Let's look at the Colts. I think it's at 6.5 for the Colts. Let me check that. Yeah, 6.5. I think that's going under for sure. I think the Colts are trash. I don't think Richardson is the answer. I think maybe miraculously 2, 3, 4 years down the road he could be good because of the athleticism. But Josh Allen is such an anomaly that he went from 52% completion to 67 or whatever he did. I don't see it happening. Hell yeah, Diego. I don't see it happening. I think Richardson is going to suck. I don't even know if he's going to be their QB. But that's a team that just has nobody. They have nobody. Their coaching hasn't figured it out. They got Jonathan Taylor. What are you going to do? Just obviously run it? Maybe they do some sort of wildcat situation with Richardson and Taylor, some weird shit. But that team is going under 6.5 wins. I would set their line at 4.5, to be honest. That's 4.5 is what would get me on the fence. 6.5, that's crazy. I'm sorry. That's not happening. Cowboys. That's the second time I've seen Cowboys, so let me go check out Cowboys. So they're at 9.5. They're at 9.5, which is that's a good line. I do think they're going over, not by much. I think they win 10 or 11 games. That's exactly who they are. Because people talk about the Cowboys like they suck because fans are disappointed year in, year out because they want Super Bowls. But this is a team that goes to the playoffs most years. Dak Prescott is a good top 10 quarterback. He makes some bad decisions. He throws some bad balls, but he's a good quarterback. He's a reliable quarterback. They won 10 games last year, and he sat for 6. So I think the Cowboys definitely are going over 9.5. I think maybe 10, 11 wins for the Cowboys. I don't think they're going to make a run in the playoffs, probably win 1 game tops. But do they make the playoffs? Do they win 10 games? Absolutely. More wins, Patriots or Steelers? I'm going to take Steelers. Steelers, both are playing in tough divisions, though. Bears and Fields. Let's look at Bears. I think people don't like it. I think Fields is going to be bad. People are trying to make Jalen Hurts comparisons. People are trying to say that, it's all right. Dak's good. He's a top 10. Think twice. You did, bro. You did. Hat tip to you. Free Franco, bro. That is crazy. That is crazy. Who wants to be a teammate with a dude who is dating an 8th grader? He's not even ready to go to prom yet. Yo. Yeah, it seems pretty – the evidence is pretty damning. So it seems like that. But, yeah, Fields – I think Fields is bad. People love because he gets some highlight reels on some nice runs, but it's just not happening for Fields. He's not a good passer. He's not – the Hurts projection, that's not happening. Lamar projection, it's not happening. He's not a good passer, and he's small, and he can't see over the line. Oh, he didn't have weapons last year. When was he ever having opportunities to throw to guys? You can't rely on people to get he's not like that. I really don't – he's one of the guys I really don't understand the hype about. I don't. And I haven't been proven wrong, guys. I'm usually optimistic about younger guys, usually optimistic about guys coming along in year 2 or 3. But, he's going to have some nice runs, some highlight reel runs, and they're going to win, 5 games. He's just not there. I really don't get it. 7.5 is really, really tall order. I think they win 6 games. So, yeah. For real, he's crazy. Fade Jaguars, I'm not with you on that. What's next? I know I missed a couple. Someone said Patriots. Let me look at the Patriots. people are starting to die. The Belichick hope is starting to die down. I got Commanders at over 7.5. Nikhil, we already hit that one. But yeah, Patriots, people are starting to die down on the Belichick hype. People are starting to realize that Brady was doing a lot more than Belichick. They did have a better team across the board as well. I saw the Patriots just picked up. They just picked up, what's his face? Ezekiel Elliott. That's interesting. Classic Patriots move. I think they'll cook something up, but they're facing a Jets team that is legit now with Rodgers. I think they're facing a Bills team, which is really, really strong. And they're facing a Dolphins team that, if Tua is remotely healthy, might be decent. So I think because of the division, they're probably only going to take like 2 games. I think they're going under. 7.5 is it's a low, but I think they win 7 games on the dot. I would stay away from this one. I'm not super strong on it, but I would stay away from this one. We already hit Green Bay. We got them on the over. I think just barely on the over. They're an 8 or 9 team. Cincinnati Bengals, Ravens, Jags. Let me get to Bucks first. Keep the comments, keep running it back if I forget, if I miss one, because I'm not paying as much attention to the comments, trying to give decent analysis on this. So I gotta, just do a little more focus. So yeah, if I miss you, run it back. We'll probably get to everyone, to be honest. We'll get to everyone. But yeah. So and once more, if you're taking futures and you like the no side, not on over-unders, but general no, like MVP no, do that on Profit Exchange, because you can actually take the flip side. Check that out. It's in the links. All right. What was the one I just said I'd do? I said I'd do the Bucks. I think the Bucks are going under 6.5. The Bucks are. I'm going just random based on comments. Whoever wants it. The Bucks are. I would like Baker Mayfield to be good, and I do think he'll be the starting QB, but I don't think they have anyone for him to throw to. If there was some, what's his face? What's the Bucks' one good wide receiver? Why am I blanking on his name? The one good Bucks player. I would like Baker Mayfield to be good. I think he'll be the starting QB. I don't think he's very good. Yeah, Mike Evans. If they find some connection, but you know what's going to happen. Evans is going to get the attention, and what's Baker going to do? He hasn't shown himself to be able to find the open guy, be able to get the ball out quickly. I don't think he gets a ton of time in the pocket. Brady was under pressure way too much last season. That O-line is trash. They're going to be blitzed a lot. They're going to be pressured. Baker's going to struggle a lot. Maybe they give it to Trask. I don't know, but I just see that as a team that's struggling a lot, even in a weak division. I think they go under. They have a better shot than most teams because I do think that division's weak, but yeah, he's just I just don't think they're going to be able to generate any sort of offense. And Brady was okay last year. He wasn't like prime Brady or anything, but they're downgrading in their QB. They're definitely downgrading in their QB. And I don't think it's a good team. And the defense is inconsistent. So I think they're going under. I said I'd do Jets next. Jets are set at over 9.5. I would set the line at 10.5. I think the Jets win 10 games. So I do think they go over. I think they win 10 games. Again, the AFC East is tough. They got to play the Bills twice. They got to play the Dolphins twice. The Pats aren't good, but they're a tough team to beat twice because of Belichick. Because, the second time around, they're going to make adjustments. They're going to figure it out. So I think that's a tough division. I think they're definitely going to be better this year with Aaron Rodgers. I think the rest of the team overperformed last year. But with Rodgers, that's a legit threat. We're going to learn a lot in the first 3 games because Rodgers had a down season last year. We're going to figure out if that's his fault or not. But yeah, I think that I think the Saints I think the Jets are going to win 10 on the dot, 10, 11 games. So over 9.5, yeah, but barely. Some lines you're going to see it at 10.5, and I would stay away from that. I would hit the over 9.5 though. Yeah, I think it's a good team. I like what I saw in Hard Knocks. And I'm a Bills guy. I don't want the Jets to be good, but based on what I saw in Hard Knocks, that makes their stock go up a little bit because it feels like they're embracing Rodgers. They're letting Rodgers be his thing. You can think he's a douchebag, everything, and he's kind of corny, but he's an elite quarterback. He knows the game better than just about anyone. He's going to help that team, and if they rally behind him, I think he's really – of course, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's one of the best to ever do it. He's going to really help that team win a lot of games. I already hit Indy. We had the under on Indy. That's the strongest one. The under on Indianapolis is my strongest feeling. I think that team's trash. And we also have to factor in, I think the Cards are going to be the worst team in the NFL this year, but Caleb Williams is such a hot prospect. The likelihood of a team tanking is more so this year than just about any year. I mean, he's basically Trevor Lawrence level of desirable prospect. And you've seen what he's done in Jacksonville. Caleb Williams is the real deal. He's going to be a good NFL QB, and teams want him. So tanking is a real possibility. You're going to see a fight for last place toward the end of the season. I really believe that. Appreciate the likes, everyone. Keeping that going. Cincinnati. So Cincinnati's a tough one right now because we don't know if Burrow's going to play the first couple games. So they're set at over under 11.5. It's a really, this is a line I just stay away from because of the Burrow situation. Like, if you told me Burrow's healthy week 1, I'd say over, no doubt. I think they win 12 games, maybe 13 games. But with Burrow maybe missing a game or two, most likely to return. So it's kind of a question mark there. I would take over 10.5. I would probably shift it down to 11, risk the push, and take the over because I think that's a 12-win team. But with Burrow potentially missing a game or coming back a tiny bit early, he had a calf strain, nothing major, but a calf strain like the first or second day of spring training. And he came out. I'm sure they're being overly cautious, obviously. But, yeah, I think that there's a chance he misses week 1. There's a chance he's not 100% on week 1. He's not like a big running QB. So, if he's 95% week 1 he plays, that's all good. I would probably take it down to 11, which you'd probably get around 11 at minus 100, and I'd take the over 11. And if it pushes, it pushes. But I think that's a 12-win team. I think it's a 12-win team. They're playing really, really good ball at the end of last season. That's a strong team. They're a legit contender, obviously. But yeah, he might miss one. Not wearing his leg sleeve card. All right, good intel from Carson. Appreciate you. Appreciate you with the intel, Carson. Carson live reporting from the field. Hell yeah. Thank you, sir. We need to know what's up. Browns. All right, let's talk about the Browns. That's another big question mark because, Deshaun Watson took almost 2 years off of football. Forget how much we all hate that pervert. Is he going to be able to get some wins? I don't think so. I think they go over 9.5. I think it's tall. I don't think he's that good. I think he was overrated. I think the deal was trash for him to get the deal. And all that time off hurt him. And, who knows? The situation, NFL players are human beings. I don't know if you checked out the Johnny Manziel documentary. Super recommend that. That was sick. That was a dope documentary. I forgot how good he was. We had the over on Cowboys already, Eli. I think they're borderline over 9.5, a 10-11 win team. But yeah, I think that Deshaun Watson is overrated. I don't think he's going to be great. I don't think he's nearly as mobile as he should be. And they're also going to play a couple of really cold weather games. That's how Ohio is. So whatever you think he can do with his legs, that's going to be negated one or two of the games. I think the weather they play in hurts them. I don't think they win 9 games. I really don't. And that's a tough division too. Baltimore's going to be really good. They got Lamar. They got OBJ. OBJ is going to contribute. And they're going to be able to do some weird shit, some end around, some flips to OBJ. It looks like it's a rollout, like a designed rollout for Lamar, and they flip it to OBJ, end around type shit. They're going to do shit. So, yeah, I think the Browns are definitely going under. 49ers. What number do we have on 49? We have over 10.5 at minus 140, so it's probably more realistically 11. I still like them over. We'll get to Jags next. Yeah, Braves last night was sick. That was really crazy, I'm telling you. That really was. Let me check a couple MLB scores actually right now because we got the under in the Rangers game and we got the over in the Mets game. I just want to make sure that those are both on track still. So the Rangers have 2 runs after 2, so they're right on track. The Mets game is at 7 runs in the 5th, so that's looking great to go over. All right, sick. So, okay, so we said we would look at what team did I say I would look at? 49ers, 10.5, 11. Yeah, I think that's going over. The QB situation is a question mark. We don't know what they're going to decide on that. But you know that you have Brock Purdy or you have Trey Lance. You're going to figure it out. You're going to have someone. They're going to be all right. And they're just elite across the board outside of the QB position. I don't see them not being able to take 11. Plus, the NFC is weaker. There are some easy games on that schedule. They're going to be able to push 10. They're going to be able to get 11, 12, even 13 wins. They started out really poorly last year. They won 9 of the last 10, I believe. Yeah, Braves team total is a cash cow for sure. Lord, I wish I was there, bro. I wish I could have made it. Orioles money line, always pretty solid, Mike. I haven't looked at that too much. My MLB plays today are the under in the Rangers game, the over in the Mets game, And I have a long shot sprinkle on the A's as well. So that's my action on MLB today. We'll pop over to that in a second, maybe, if you want to check it out. It's 1-0. The A's are down. The others are looking nice. Lord, appreciate the follow. Go ahead, be like Lord. Go ahead, give your boy a follow. I know we're a little light in here, so I'm going to try to get through a couple, though. All right, so which ones do we need to get to still? What's one anyone's waiting on? What up, Parks? Talk about the Doug Club, Glasgow. So, all right. The Rays need a good performance from their starting pitcher. They've been wasting the pens. They've been slumping. They're playing San Francisco Giants. The Giants have the worst offense in the league the last couple weeks. They've been bad offensively this whole year. The reason they're winning is because they're pitching so dominant. So Glasgow's going to be able to breeze through that lineup pretty effectively. He's not a huge K guy. He's not a huge walk guy, so he keeps his pitch count relatively low. He's usually over 17.5. That's just a light line. It's a short line. I realize minus 135. It's not a 50-50 type play, and we're already favoring it a little bit, but I think that should be a minus 180. So if I see value that good, I'm going to go after it. I got under on the Pats user, but I'm staying away from that one. That's a tight one. To be fair, I do have the under, but it's pretty tight, and I don't love it. Jags a lock. I think the Jaguars are going to be really good this year. I think over 9.5 is absolutely hitting. That's one of my favorite plays. Jags over 9.5 is really strong. I think Trevor Lawrence made a lot of growth in the second half of last season. If he continues at that point, he's going to be very good, and I think he'll probably get better because this is only his third year. He's still getting more used to the offense. He's getting more confident. He has a playoff win under his belt. That's a big deal. The team trusts him. They rely on him. The fans do. The growth that occurred last year, it's a big deal. That affects someone's ability to play. And if he flatlined, if he was exactly where he was when he left off last season, I think that team's winning 10 games. I really do. That's a strong team. He's very strong. I think Trevor Lawrence is a good long shot bet. If you want to throw a 12-1 on him being passing yards leader, that's a good future sprinkle. If you want to sprinkle 18-1 on MVP, I'm not saying nuke it. These are long shots, but it's a value long shot. Yeah, no, I think he's going to surpass Burrow. Not Burrow. He's going to surpass Herbert this year and has a shot at Burrow. If you ask me, going into this season, the top 5 QBs going into this season, Lamar, I'm going to leave him out because he was hurt last year and held out, so I can't really get a great read on Lamar. But aside from Lamar, not in order, the top 5 QBs in the NFL when you leave off last year are going to be Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert, and Lawrence. That's going to be my top 5. Again, Lamar, we're not factoring in. I think there's a chance for Lawrence to get into that top 3 in this year. I think he's going to surpass Herbert, and he's got a crack at taking someone else down in the top 3. He's got a crack at Burrow. I think there's a real chance. So, yeah, I think the Jags are going to be very good. And they got Ridley back. That's a big deal. Yeah, so the over 9.5 is one of my favorite overs that's on the board this year. I think it's really strong. A lot of primetime games, play 2 Europe games. I mean, both teams have to deal with that, so I don't think that's a major factor. I think that's an indicator that there's a lot of people that think Lawrence is, a future face of the league. He's going to be one of the guys. The AFC, let me tell you this. The AFC is a goddamn gauntlet right now. The only top 8 QB that's not in the AFC is Jalen Hurts. I got Rays, Carlos. I think Glasnow is going to eat him up. But more than anything, I got Glasnow over 17.5 outs, and I also like the under in that game. But I don't – Glasnow's the only action I took in that game. I'm just telling you my leans. But, yeah. Jags are going to be solid. That's a team to keep an eye out for 100%. Let's do one more before I hop off because we're a little light in here. But let me do one more. Anyone got another team you want me to look at the over-under for? Absolutely, Carlos. Anytime. I keep the DMs open. I got the Discord, the chalkboard. Check it out. We'll do Ravens. I already did Broncos. I have them under, but I'm staying away because they're such a question mark. Live bets MLB a little bit, but I get my plays up on SoBet every single day. I'm getting NFL futures up there. If you want my picks, they're in my links on SoBet every single day. I post a full slate on Dub Club. I post a full slate of player props. You can grab those for free trial. So check it out. There's something for everyone. But, yeah, I do live bets. I'm on here live a lot. I'm very reachable. I don't respond to everything because I'm busy sometimes. But, you hop in the Discord, the chalkboard, whatever. Find me on Twitter, all that shit. I reply when I see shit. I just don't always see shit. But I reply. So, yeah, we'll look at the Ravens, which is another decent question mark because there's some questions around Lamar. But The Ravens are set at 10.5. That's a really good line. I lean over, but it's one of the ones that I stay away from. You got a very strong defense. You got OBJ. You got Lamar Jackson. OBJ's a question mark coming after ACL surgery. Like, he might be nothing. He might be very good. Lamar could be a little bit worse, but is an elite QB. I mean, he has an MVP under his belt. You cannot deny the elite abilities of a quarterback who has an MVP under his belt and isn't old now. Like, that's a really good QB, a very good passer, and an incredible runner. And I don't think the injury was that bad. I think it was more about the holdout. So I do like the over in that situation. It's a tough division, but I think they're going to win that division. Yeah, I understand, Diego. I understand. If you want to go like 2-3, I like the unit sizing. Everything I put out, I like the unit sizing. But if you're like, I don't want to go that crazy, don't go that crazy. That's fine. I get what you're saying, Diego. You want to go a little light. Yeah, so Miami, I like the under for Miami. I think that Tua is a ticking time bomb. I can't imagine he's going to play the whole season or be at that level, and he's in a really tough division. He has to play the Jets with Aaron Rodgers twice. He has to play the Bills twice. Like, that's not an easy task. I don't care. It's not an easy task whatsoever. And I think that's going under. I think it's a really tough division. I think he's injury prone. Obviously, the concussion thing, I think it could go very poorly. Skylar Thompson is absolute trash as a backup. What's up, SN? We're just hitting some over-unders. I'm about to hop off here, but I appreciate you hopping in. Maybe I'll hop back on later to sweat out one of these MLB games. I'm on MLB till the rest of the season. Don't you worry. I'm going to have picks through the end of September, picks through October. We're locked in on MLB. We're going to continue to grow that bankroll on MLB, but NFL is where the fun is at. I can't wait for NFL. College football, we're locked in. So I'm trying to shift a little bit toward NFL, start thinking about that. I want you guys to start thinking about that. Absolutely. We're going to be focused on that, locked in. It's a year-round gig, baby. It's a year-round gig. Love you guys, except for the ones I hate. I'm going to hop off. Padres money line tonight is I lean Padres. I don't think there's value there. But I'm going to hop off, guys. I appreciate you. Maybe I'll be back later.